Welcome everybody. Marcel Ernie Racing News. Today we're featuring Josh Barker and his YouTube channel video, one that has gone recently viral for his small channel, and the title is Special Forces Deputy Sheriff, All Cops Lie, Cheat, and Steal. And he actually had the headline photo saying, "I hate cops." Let's take a listen to Josh Barker, guys, ex-Green Beret, and kind of found his passion with being a police officer to help others. And one of the rare good cops, and he explains how there's good and bad in every industry, which is so true, you know, from your electrician to your contractors to your doctors and nurses and anybody in every job, right? So here he goes.
I hate cops. I hate cops. Why do I hate cops? Well, all they do is lie, cheat, and steal. They're corrupt. They harass people. They hurt people. They just abuse their power. They scare people. All they want to do is flash their shiny gun and want to write citations, want to arrest people, drink their coffee, and eat their donuts and get fat. I mean, what do cops even do?
All right, guys, we're going to just throw our commentary along the way so we don't have any copyright issues with Mr. Josh Barker, but he's off to a great start and he's really captivated his audience, so I'm very interested to hear what he has to say.
Before I answer that question, my name's Josh Barker. I did 13 years in the Army, got out, medically discharged, and went to college for a couple years. I got bored. I was going for a business degree. Kind of struggled for a little bit, lost my sense of purpose, and eventually I became a cop or a deputy. And I never thought I'd be a cop. Never thought I'd be a deputy. Never thought I'd serve in law enforcement. But when I got out, like a lot of other veterans, you lose your sense of purpose. And it's not to say that a veteran has to be a cop to find their purpose. It's just something that I tried, and it's worked for me. I got out, and I was in search of a job. Eventually landed in law enforcement. I missed the camaraderie. I missed serving people, serving someone other than myself, right? In college, I realized how selfish people are when I got out of the military. And it's not just the college kids that I thought were selfish. It's everyone that I was surrounded by. Because I was no longer surrounded by a military base, stuff like that. But I just gave this little speech or class a couple days ago to the high school kids. They asked if I'd speak for career day. I went and I spoke to them, and I opened up with what I just opened up now. And I asked them the question, are all cops bad? And they're kind of confused because I'm in uniform.
Josh Barker, I'm not sure what state he's out of, but yeah, so teaching a class, and he said, I've seen this whole video before, it goes on for quite a while. We're just going to show you another few minutes of it, and I'll have the link to the video below. But he was, getting asked questions by students, and this is what prompted this video.
Kind of confused, they're like, Well, no. And I was like, why not? The media portrays us all being bad, all incompetent, wanting to hurt people, and not knowing people's rights, not supporting people's rights. Cops are bad. Everyone hates cops. Well, then some people will start asking, well, I don't hate cops. Okay. Then I asked the question, are there good teachers and bad teachers? As I'm looking at a teacher. And they're like, well, yeah. Are there good principals and bad principals? Are there good counselors, bad counselors? Are there good therapists, bad therapists? Are there good doctors and bad doctors? Or are they all good? Or are they all bad? Good nurses, bad nurses? How about this? Good electricians, good plumbers, good contractors, or bad electricians, bad plumbers, and bad contractors? For those of you that are in trade jobs, how many times have you gone to a job where the person before you completely messed it up?
Or as just a citizen hiring an expert, how many times have those experts completely messed it up? Like, you're hiring an expert so you don't have to be an expert, because they're the experts, so they should know exactly what to do and do the job professionally and do it correctly. And then you realize later on that everything is wrong, things are catching on fire, like electrician doing my RV, hired a couple experts, we both screwed it up, and I had to become the expert. It's such a shame.
Okay, huh. So that means there has to be good cops and bad cops, right? Okay. Because if they're all bad, then how are we still here? If they're all bad, how is there still a job? There's been times in my career, my short career in law enforcement, 4 years in law enforcement, and there's been moments of frustration. And there's been moments where I've debated on getting out, on not being a cop anymore, not being a deputy anymore. And those moments are seeing other bad cops, seeing other shitty cops, either seeing it in person or hearing about it from somebody else or seeing it on social media, on the news. Because it shows a bad light on all of us. You see a bad plumber, contractor, electrician, you're hesitant to get another one because you're afraid you're going to waste your money on another person. I've thought about getting out many times. But then I'm reminded that there's a lot of people that still need us. There's a lot of bad cops out there, but there's also a lot of good cops out there. And I go back to the question from the beginning, what do cops even do? And this is something I posed to the students when I went to the class. What do cops even do? Also, real quick, side note, I just got an email last night, and this is the reason why I sparked today's video. I got an email last night from a kid that's about to graduate college. Sounds like he's a very smart kid. Very well written email. And I'm actually impressed for his knowledge, for just coming out into the real world, about to graduate high school. He sends me his email. He says, I really want to be a cop. He goes, I have my sights as a paramedic, but what I really want to do is be a cop. And he started listing all these things that he knows And to be honest, it's probably more than a lot of cops, the stuff that he's telling me. It's frustrating, man. He said he wants to be a cop, but another thing he's worried about. He's worried about getting hurt by a fellow cop, right? He's seen or heard stories about people being tased by other cops, shot by other cops, what have you. And I completely empathize with that. All of it. I got out of the military. I was in special forces, got out of the military, and when I became a cop, I'm like, well, what's going on? So again, I go back to, I've thought about getting out, right? But then I've talked to people about it, and one person has told me, Josh, if you got out and all the good cops got out, and I'm not saying I'm a good cop, I'm not a bad cop, but I'm learning. So I'm a learning cop, right? I try to be the best that I can be. But that's everything I do. I try to be the best dad I can be, the best person, the best man. I never want to hurt anyone. I try to be the best person that I can be. They're like, Josh, if you get out and all the good cops get out, what's that leave us?
That leaves us with just the bad cops. I mean, yeah, that's the obvious thing. And this is what we've seen happen with, the COVIDism. People were fired from their positions for standing up for their morals, for standing up for their rights, for the Constitution, for the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Those are all the people in the profession. Those are obviously the moral high ground people that have morals, that have a conscience. They were fired from being nurses or doctors or in the government profession because all the government jobs were mandated, or most of them. And in the police force, you're left with, if they did the mandates, you're losing the good cops. The good cops are disappearing. So crime is on the rise. Homelessness is on the rise. The cost of living is on the rise by a large amount. And the bad cops appear to be on the rise. The bad bylaw, the bad commissioners, the bad people. There is just bad people all over the world. And we need the good ones to stay in those jobs and take over eventually. It would be nice to have the good cops actually outweigh the bad cops.
Why can't you be that person that people look up to and aspire to be? If there's nothing but bad cops left, then it's going to get worse. Everyone's going to think worse of the cops. But there has to be good cops offset the bad cops. Sure. And I pride myself to be a good cop. I know I'm a good cop, actually. And I know that because if I have to do certain things, i.e. do traffic stops, have to write citations because my job, and I have to make an arrest because someone broke the law, someone got hurt, someone stole something, whatever. One, I try to talk to them as a person. You have to do that as a cop because we're all human. Everyone makes mistakes. Just because you're being arrested doesn't mean you're a bad person. And just because I arrest you doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. So I try to talk to these guys, whether it's drug related or someone assaulted someone or theft or whatever. I try and talk to them, hey man, what's going on? Like, what do you need help with? Because the answer isn't just arresting someone. You got to talk to them.
Just fast forwarding a little bit, guys, and continuing.
It's got to offset, right? The amount of good has to offset the amount of bad that people are doing out there as cops. There's a lot of bad cops. I see cops on YouTube or whatever. There's a lot of dumb or bad cops, and I hate it. It makes us all look bad.
Okay, so what can I do for you?
Okay, do you have your ID is what I've asked you for?
I don't need to give you ID.
Okay, then I'll be towing your car.
What's your name?
My name?
What's your badge
available
number?
To you when you provide me
What's your
ID
name and badge number?
My name's available to you out here.
What's your name and badge number?
Did you not hear what I just said to you?
I said, I'm asking you the question.
Okay, that's
What's your
fine.
name and badge number, please?
Okay, you failed to comply with me, so I'm failing to comply with you until you meet me out.
What is your name, sir? You're going to be on YouTube if you keep this
That's
up.
fine. I like YouTube.
All right, why don't you
I've got
show me
more-
your face and be
I've got
human?
more fans than you do. So
What's
I'm
the
responding
complaint?
to a
What's the complaint?
It's available for you.
What is the
We're going in
complaint?
circles.
What's the complaint?
But we've already explained this.
No, I don't know what the complaint is. I don't know why you knocked on my door.
You're parked here. You're unwelcome here.
Unwelcome?
Correct.
Were you discriminating against me? I don't understand. How am I not welcome here? I
This is
live
the
in
problem,
Kelowna.
sir. We're trying to have dialogue.
If you camp here overnight, it's a bylaw offense.
Okay, yeah, I know. So I know I'm allowed to be here, and I know I'm not allowed to camp here overnight, right? So, like, is there something else going on here? Like, why is he harassing me? Why are you... Officer, you better tell me your name. Why are you harassing me, and what is your name?
I have a lawful authority to request identification. You have failed.
No, you don't. You need probable cause to ask for identification. I'm not driving the vehicle.
That's not true at all. So what you need to understand...
Oh my God, you don't know shit, dude.
Okay.
What's
I'm
the
responding
complaint?
to a
What's the complaint?
It's available for you.
What is the
We're going in
complaint?
circles.
What's the complaint?
But we've already explained that.
All right. I don't want to see that guy. I'm waiting on the watch commander. This is insane. Mr. Tow Truck Driver, I was just parked here for the rally and I'm being harassed because of that. Do you have a conscience about this? You cannot tow a vehicle with me in it. You know that. That is illegal. You are on film as well. I'm recording.
Point, I'm not actually towing you.
Oh, okay.
All I'm doing is hooking you up. And you did not ask my permission to be filmed.
It's a public space, I'm allowed to, but I'm doing it for my own protection because I'm being harassed by this Officer Herbs.
That's your problem.
I'm being harassed by this guy, and I'm still waiting for the watch commander, mister.
I'm not sure if he's coming or not. What I can inform you, though, sir, is that based on everything here, we need to ensure that you're going to be safe and the tow is going to be safe. And we don't want to render damage to your vehicle. So what we need is the keys to the vehicle because it's a...
There's a lot of dumb or bad cops, and I hate it. It makes us all look bad. But if we start walking around with a camera crew with all the bad teachers, all the bad electricians, contractors, doctors, I mean, how many bad doctors are out there? How many malpractice lawsuits are out there? You don't hear about it because you just assume doctors are good, right? They're just wanting to help people. Well, I guarantee you most cops join law enforcement just to help people. But yet, all people see are the bad ones. Camera crews following the bad ones around. But what if a doctor or a nurse or a teacher had to wear a body cam? And then when something happens, that body camera gets shown to the public.
Now, unfortunately, in Canada, there is no body cams on police officers. The RCMP is not wearing body cams. The Ontario police are not wearing body cams. I'm not sure about all the other jurisdictions. I don't think they're wearing them in Alberta. The Calgary police, do they wear body cams? Maybe you guys can chime in. Is there any police officers in Canada that wear body cameras? So anyways, guys, this is Josh. His channel is Joshua Barker, guys. 42 videos. And yeah, so go check out his channel. You can see I subscribed just yesterday when I came across this. And yeah, he's done a bunch of videos. You're too weak to stop drinking, airborne school, leaving kids, dealing with a bad day, and then I hate cops, which is 99,000 views. So that's the one that got into the CensorTube algorithm. Yeah, anyways, thought it was fitting to throw Constable Conrad Herbs in the mix, as he says, there's how many bad cops have you seen on YouTube that create a bad image for cops everywhere, and that's exactly what Herbs has done. And you could just imagine all the good cops that are in the Kelowna detachment that have seen what Herbs has done and just, you know, look down on this sad individual, Constable Conrad Herbs, this tyrant that spent 3 hours to get over a parking warning, which was also called by the Kelowna commissioners, who has no jurisdiction on parking or on the street whatsoever. So they're prejudiced against me simply because of my reporting of the Freedom Convoy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Let's beat that CensorTube algorithm. Over and out.